Inside this video topic, we'll discuss a very interesting concept of application, and that is how to use Tailwind CSS inside React application. Tailwind CSS is a CSS library which provides classes. By the help of those classes, we can create our user interfaces. It's just like a bootstrap. So here, as we know that inside this entire course, we are trying to create headless applications. So obviously, we want to create some layout. So to create those layouts, we'll use the concept of Tailwind CSS. So before creating those layouts, at least we have to know that how to integrate the concept of Tailwind CSS inside the application to create user interfaces. Before going further, I only request you to please hit the like button to give us a thumbs up to this interesting course, and please do subscribe so that I will be creating such type of amazing and interesting courses for you. So here, to work with Tailwind CSS library, we have to follow few steps, and by the help of those steps we can easily install that package into this React application. And once we install that package, then we are allowed to use its classes to create user interfaces. So first thing first, what are those steps? Let's go to browser. Then I will go to its official website called tailwindcss.com. Let's click on this button called Get Started. Then I will go into the search box and type here that I want to use this CSS library into my React application. So simply React keyword. So here we can see that here we have under installation, install Tailwind CSS with create React app. Let's click on this link. And now here we can see that it has some suggestion. So as we know that we have installed our React application using Vite tool. So simply I will click on this Vite. And once we click here, so install Tailwind CSS with Vite. So we can see that inside this using React tab, here we have some commands, and these commands actually we need to install step by step into our application to work with this Tailwind CSS. So what I will do, as we know that we have installed our React application. So here inside the second command called terminal, here we have a command called npm install. Let's copy. Let's go back to project terminal. So we can see that we are inside our application. So I am pressing Ctrl C to stop this development server. So here, what I will do, simply I will paste this command called npm install -d tailwind css post css and auto prefixer. So once we type, just hit enter. And now you can see that the process of installation now started. So successfully, as we can see that this command now added 89 packages to our application. Now next, let's go back to documentation. So here, after this command, let's copy one more command called npx tailwind css init-p. So once copy, go back to terminal again and let's paste here, hit enter. And now we can see that it has created two files called Tailwind CSS config, that is tailwind.config.js, and created post CSS config, that is post CSS.config.js. To verify all these files, let's go back to editor. And now we can see that inside this application, here we have two files, that is Tailwind config and post CSS config. Next, after this, what I will do, let's go back to documentation. So after running all these commands, here we have some code of tailwind.config.js. Simply, let's copy, go back to editor. So I will open this tailwind.config.js. Let's remove existing code and let's paste this new code. Save these changes. Again, go here. So we can see that here we have three lines of code inside this index.css. Let's copy, go back to editor. I will open index.css from this src folder. Here we have, let's remove all this existing code and just paste these three lines of code here. Save these changes. So after execution of all these things, now here we have to start our development server. So what to do? Let's go back to project terminal. So npm run dev, hit enter, start it. Let's press, and now we can see that our application is running, but how to verify that CSS classes are working? So to verify, here we can see that here we have a h1 tag which is containing some classes, and these classes of Tailwind CSS. So what to do? I will copy this h1 tag. Let's go inside any of the component file. For example, here I'll go inside this users component, and before this button tag, let's paste here. And one more thing, also you can notice that inside this h1 tag, here we have the keyword called class name, and this class name attribute is containing all the classes of Tailwind CSS. But remember, inside HTML, this will call only class. So here, class is a keyword inside React application, so that's why class is converted into a new word called class name. So if I save these changes, let's go here. Let's reload. So we can see that hello world, and this is all about loading our product using use effect. But currently there is no CSS inside this h1 tag because as we know that all the code we have added into this index.css, but there is no link of this file into this user component even inside this main.jsx or even inside this app.jsx. So what I will do, I will simply go inside this main.jsx file, and here I will import this index.css so that we can use the concept of Tailwind CSS what we have used inside this h1 tag. So simply I will go here, let's say import from current directory, so dot forward slash and simply index.css, because this is the file which is coming from the same folder called src. Save these changes. If I go here, and now you can see that successfully now the classes of Talent CSS is now working with the classes concept of that library. So if I inspect here, let's go inside this. And we can see that now this time these all CSS are coming from our Tailwind library. So it is really amazing, and it's very used to install and use Tailwind CSS inside React application. So inside our coming videos, as we know that we have to create the user interfaces like the list layout, create layout, edit layout, and those layouts we can create using our Tailwind CSS. So that's why this is the video which is very important to understand that how to use Tailwind CSS and their classes concept to use inside any of the React application. Now let's meet to next amazing video. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.